Is this some type of axe murderer? Or, I don't know who the fuck the person is. Did this person take advantage while I was asleep? I don't know. Especially these days. Now I'm seeing what Diddy was doing and shit. Like I'm just waking up randomly. What the fuck? Did you try to touch me or some shit? What's going on, guys and gals? It's your boy Guy, and today I will be doing my very first mukbang. Now, as you can see from the title, I'll be telling you a story about how I woke up in a stranger's bed. Yes, you heard me. I woke up in a stranger's bed, so I thought. But before I get into the story, I want to share with you what I'll be eating today. I have a boil bag, and if you've never had a boil bag, you're missing out on life. I mean, it's like an orgasm in a fucking bag, guys. Like I have boiled eggs in here. I have a piece of corn, broccoli, shrimp, crab legs. I'll say it again, crab legs. I love seafood. I love crab legs. And then I have some potatoes in there as well. And then, as you all know, I love a good mimosa. So I have a mimosa. And if you want to drink with me, grab a cup, pour up. You know the line. And let's get into the story. But first, I'm going to take a bite, make sure everything's good. And as you can see, I have on my black gloves. I use these gloves to cook at home and I have to wear them for the video because the restaurant didn't give me any of the plastic gloves that are supposed to come with it. But I digress. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's doing what it's supposed to do, guys. So this story starts that it was a friend's birthday party. And so we all pre-gamed. It was a bunch of friends, but we pre-gamed or whatever. And I get so disgusted with like shrimp when it has like the vein or the shit that's still in it. Like that kind of turns me off, honestly. But I try not to think about it. I try not to think about it. Like the more and more as I get older, like I don't know, we're looking at like meat or any type of animal that I'm eating, it turns me off, but it just tastes so good. But at the same time, it just turns me off. Like even eating chicken sometimes, like the shit I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is a fucking animal that I'm devouring right now. I'm eating an animal. I'm peeling out their fucking veins. I digress. Let's stick to the story before I not eat this. But so we were pre-gaming at one of our friends' houses, and back then, now this is probably early 20s. Now, my late teens, early 20s, oh, I was a partier. I was kicking it. I was drinking. Like now, I really don't even drink. Like I'll drink on like a holiday or like some occasion where I'm with family because I don't even really go out as much as I used to. It's like rare that you'll see me out like at a club or even a bar. Like usually you'll see me at like restaurants or stuff like that. I'm a big foodie. But anyway, we were drinking, and back then I really didn't know my tolerance. I mean my level on which I would just go overboard every time. But this time I drank and drank and drank. We're pre-game and we're having a good time. And we eventually, oh, that's good, y'all. Let me scoot up because I don't want this shit getting on my chair. But we went to, sorry for the smacking and all that shit. This shit is just juicy and it's good. So we went to the party center where the party was. Good time, dancing, having a ball. Now, during this party, I got so wasted that my friends put me in one of the cars outside, which is a red flag already. I don't sit outside anywhere. I feel like too much shit goes on. Don't sit me outside. I don't want to be anywhere, anybody. And I've been robbed twice in my life. I think 2 or 3 times. I'll tell you that on another mukbang. But so I get paranoid and I really don't like being outside. Like I don't like sitting. If somebody's like, if I'm picking somebody up, I don't like sitting outside of your house. Like I'm going to call you like a few blocks back because I need you standing outside by the time I get there. I don't play that like anything because I'm telling you, anxiety and just paranoia from being robbed sets in. But yeah, so I was asleep in the car. Now, wow, that's the last thing I remember. I'll just because I'm trying to think how I want to tell a story. So the last thing I remember is partying in this bar. I mean, this event center. Now, I wake up looking at a wall in a room filled with light. So I'm like, what the fuck? It's daytime. Where's everybody at? Last I remember, I was with the people. So I'm laying in somebody's bed and I'm like, who the fuck bed am I in? Now, I kind of glance over just to kind of see, and the person is facing the other wall. So I can't see them. I'm laying in their bed, but they're facing one wall and I'm facing the other. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? And why am I in your bed? Immediately, I touch my legs, touch all my unmentionables, trying to see, like, hold on, what happened? Did I sleep with somebody and didn't know? I don't know what's going on. Like, did you take advantage of me while I was fucking asleep? So I woke up and so yeah, I'm like, okay, who is this person? And then now they're still asleep and I just didn't even want to move because I'm like, what if this is a killer? Fuck, I didn't grab a fork, y'all. Hold on. This is so fucking annoying because I don't have a fork to open my crab legs. BRB. All right, I'm back. Got my fork. Now, like I said, so they're facing one wall, I'm facing the other, and I'm like, I need them to turn around because I need to see who the fuck you are. So I'm laying in the bed and finally I feel them like move a little bit and they never turn around. And I'm like, they never really say anything. But so I'm like, can you tell me where the bathroom is? Because I'm figuring that maybe if I hear their voice, I'm like, maybe it's somebody I know. They decide they don't want to talk. So they just point. What the fuck? So I get up in this person's house and I walk out the room. I go because at this point I don't have my coat, which has my key and everything in it. So I'm like, and then I went into the bathroom, so I couldn't leave or anything. So I'm like, okay, so I'm in the bathroom. I turn on the water. I'm looking at myself, still hungover. I start splash, but at this point I'm like, and kind of panicking because I'm like, I don't know where I'm at and I don't know who I'm with. Is this some type of axe murderer? Or, I don't know who the fuck the person is. Did this person take advantage while I was asleep? I don't know. So I look in the mirror, I turn on the water, and I was like, God, get it together. Get it the fuck together. So I'm splashing water in my face and shit, trying to wake up because, like I said, I'm still drunk and hungover. So I eventually will go back out into the room, and they still aren't looking at me. And I'm like, last night was crazy, huh? They're like, yeah. Now they want to give me short answers. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? If you don't hold a fucking conversation with me. So, eventually I'm just asking questions like, what happened? All this stuff. And they're like, they finally turn around. And I'm like, oh, I do know you, but I don't know you like that I would leave with you. So I'm like, they're like, man, you were drunk. I'm like, I was that drunk? They're like, yeah. They was like, we had to put you in a car. And I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, you missed everything. I'm like, what happened? They were like, yeah, it was a big brawl. Everybody got into a fight. I'm like, what? How the fuck did I sleep through an entire fight? So as I'm sleeping this, so I get so drunk, I guess. They put me in the car and they go back to partying and stuff. Somehow, I don't know how the people who I was with got into it with some other people. And they got into a good fight. Maybe it was meant for me to go to sleep, so I wasn't being in a fight. But yeah, so I slept through this entire fight that they're fighting around a car. I mean, bottles broken, all kinds of shit. And I'm just like, Thank God I was knocked out. But I'm like, that's crazy. So now I'm like, and they're like, yeah, and I got to take you to go get your car. Where the fuck is my car? Why I don't have my car? They're like, it's still at the bar. I mean, at the event center or whatever. I'm like, what? Now this event center is in the hood. Now this is in the hood. Now this is not someplace I would leave my car ever. But he's like, yeah, we had to leave your car there because you weren't able to drive. You were too drunk. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, how did I end up here? Because it was a bunch of friends who I went with, and I didn't really know him as well as I, with the people who I went out with and stuff. So I'm just like, so how did I end up with you? So he's like, well, our mutual friend who I'm cooler with asked, because I was so drunk I couldn't drive, and asked could he drop me off at home. So he said, yeah, I could drop him off, whatever. So he takes me home. Now back then I lived in this apartment that you can't get in. I mean, I kind of live in an apartment like that too, like a community where you can't get in unless you're buzzed in, like at the gate or whatever. So he couldn't get in the gate. So once he pulled up to my place or whatever, because they were able to tell him where I lived, I couldn't remember the code to get into the gate because I was so fried. I had been drinking so much. I couldn't remember the code. So we're like, I guess he said we were at the gate, and he just kept asking me like, what's the code? You have to put in your code. Now this is out the way. This is probably like 30 minutes from where he lives. So he drove maybe like 25, 30 minutes to get where my house is for him to then have to leave because I'm too drunk to remember my damn code to get in. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm telling you, back then I was fried and kicking it, but I was having a good time. But anyway, so he says I'm like falling all over the place and can't remember. So he calls our mutual friend and say, hey, look, he's too wasted. He can't remember his code. Do you know it or whatever? He's like, no, I don't know it. So he's like, all right, I'm going to. He's like, all right, I'm gonna take him just to my house then, and then I'll just take him to get his car in the morning when he wakes up. So then he ends up taking me home. I mean, taking me to get my car or whatever. But it was cool. And then I had asked, of course I asked, I said, did you do something to me? Or did anything happen, some shit like that? Like, what the? He like, no, man, what? I'm like, listen, I gotta ask. Especially these days. Now I'm seeing what Diddy was doing and shit. Like, I'm just waking up randomly. What the fuck? Did you try to touch me or some shit? Take advantage? But he said no, and I don't think he that kind of person anyway. But the shit was crazy, but that actually taught me a lot because I'm just like, that's some scary shit. Because I could have honestly been with anybody. Like, you have to be careful. Sorry. Like, as they say, hindsight is 2020. Like, a lot of shit that I did back then, I wouldn't do now as far as like drinking and partying and stuff like that. Like, when I tell you, we used to have bottles on bottles on bottles on bottles, but now I'm such a square. I'm such a lame. I don't really do shit. I really just stay in the house. I buy shit so I can stay in the house. Like, anything that I want, I buy just to keep me in my house. But we go get to my car, and I was hoping, I'm like, please, Lord, don't let my windows be busted out, because that was something that I was worried about. Because, like I said, this event center was in the middle of the hood, and my car was a nice car, so nobody busted out my windows or anything. But I was appreciative, but it was still scary because I didn't know this person like that. Like I said, we had mutual friends, but I didn't know them well enough to just, them to be driving, because I already don't let people drive me. So one, you drove me somewhere, and then two, I was in your bed. But like I said, first thing I checked was to make sure my clothes was on. But yeah, you have to be careful, y'all. Like, don't drink that much that you aren't with friends And I think this was like pre-Uber. This was like pre-Uber and Lyft and shit. So I know people probably like, why don't you get a Lyft or Uber? No, I didn't. This was like pre that. So yeah, it was a crazy time. It was a crazy fun time. But I'm telling you, I was like, what the fuck? I was nervous as shit. But yeah, you have to be careful drinking. Make sure you drink responsibly. Make sure that you're around friends who do take care of you, because luckily I was around friends. He was, you know, this guy who I barely knew was friend enough to take me home. Well, at least attempt to take me home, because they didn't know me like that. And then I was in no state to drive. And then my other friends, they were already in shit because they were fighting and stuff. So make sure you go out with people who are responsible. Um, I don't know. I feel like I got a lot of stories where I was drinking and partying, but now these days, no. You know, I used to travel, all kinds of shit, y'all. I mean, I still travel and shit like that, but I am like a totally different person as far as like people be like, "What? You not drinking, guy? Was you not partying?" No, like I don't know. I feel like I still, like I said, I still do drink, but I just feel like, you know, I'm past that point in my life. I think I've had enough hangovers and shit like that to last a lifetime, and I don't want to do that anymore. You know, at some point you got to give it up. You got to give that life up, guys. Shit, that shit went on the wrong fucking pipe, the little spikes. Yep. So that's how I woke up in the bed with a stranger. Tell me down in the comment if you ever had an experience like that, or if you have something wild where you were like woke up in somebody's bed, or met some stranger that ended up being cool, or whatever the case may be. Tell me down in the comments. I love to hear your stories. But I appreciate you all for taking the time to watch my video, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you are notified anytime I post new content. And then, as I say all the time, I do have a new single out called Love Me Again. You can check the link in the description. It'll take you to Spotify. Listen to my song. Tell me what you think. You know what I mean? I also have it here on YouTube as well. But yeah, I appreciate all the support that you all have been giving me, and I hope that it continues. 2025 is our year. We're going to go up. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get all the money that we can in multiple different avenues. So that's what it's about. But as always, peace, love, blessings, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Bye. So I'm going to show you all the proper way to crack a crab leg, guys. So you're going to take your crab leg. You're going to break the bottom portion off, throw that back in. Now, if you look at the crab leg, you have the top part and then you have the bottom part. Now, on the bottom part, you'll see a soft area where I broke the lower portion of the leg off. You take your fork, you put it down by the soft part, and you start to go up. Just start cracking that shit all along in a straight line, all the way down. Now you open along where you just cracked it. This one giving me more trouble than the other ones did, but of course it is. Why wouldn't it? Then you just pull that shit out, y'all. Ta-da! That top portion kind of broke a little bit, but y'all get the gist. Y'all stop cracking y'all motherfucking veneers and teeth, chewing on fucking shells. Like, stop biting these damn crab legs. I know y'all dentists is tired. They tired of seeing y'all and fixing the same damn teeth that y'all cracking into that shit. I've been seeing y'all like that. Like, stop biting that shit. What's wrong with y'all? You either use a cracker or use a fucking fork and do what I just showed you. We got to move different in 2025. Shit.